Why shouldn't a world-class college big band win a Grammy? The Grammys have long served as validation and recognition for the efforts of all kinds of musicians and all kinds of music. Up until now, no college small group, vocal group, or big band has ever won a Grammy, although there have been a few nominations. And I think it's time for that to change. The level of musicianship and professionalism in our jazz education programs has increased significantly. Now, the jazz program at the University of North Texas, which along with Berkeley is the longest and most professional jazz education program in the world, includes the 1 o'clock lab band. There's also a 2 o'clock, a 3 o'clock, a 4 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, it goes on. There are some really incredible musicians, and every year the 1 o'clock band documents what they do in a recording. This year's recording, Lab Band 2011, should be a candidate for Grammy recognition, and from my perspective, probably should win a Grammy. There's some great big bands out there right now. Some new ones like John DeVersa, some established ones like the Vanguard Jazz Orchestra, Maria Schneider, some really fine music being played by large ensembles. Now, Grammys aren't based on sales, but in recognition of artistic achievement. I think it's time for jazz education to be recognized. Obviously, not all jazz education programs are equal. Some are better than others. But listen to this. The 1 o'clock band is just as good as the finest big bands in the country, with really fine writing and arrangements, top-notch soloists, an ensemble that benefits from playing together on a regular basis. The music on this recording is as good as any big band recording. So how about it, Grammys? It's a bit secretive and convoluted the way one makes it to the Grammy nominations. Any record company, any record label, remember those? Can nominate their artists, but that winnowing down to the 10 nominees, no one really knows how that happens. Supposedly the nominees are put together by experts in individual categories. Sidebar here, why did the Grammys decide to slight Latin jazz? I don't think that's a good idea. We have a growing Latin population in this country and a very vibrant Latin music scene. For most people, the Grammys take place for 3 hours on CBS in February. We really hardly ever see jazz on that program, but there's another ceremony earlier in the day where literally more than 100 Grammys are given out. Why cut out categories? We're not cutting anything out of the TV broadcast. And here's another question for those folks who run the Grammy. Why have you cut jazz out of the Grammys on TV completely? You can't spare 3 minutes for a performance? How about music like this on TV for a change? Of course, the naysayers behind the scenes would say, oh, jazz, that's just a niche market. We can't put that on TV in prime time. However you describe this music and its market, I know for a fact that when I go to a concert, a workshop, a festival, and I find young people there who've never heard the music, who get a chance to experience it first time, they are enthusiastic, and for good reason. Now, I don't know what we can do as enthusiasts and listeners to increase the awareness on the Grammy scale for jazz, and in particular to recognize jazz education. You can't write to your congressman, you can't send a telegram to the president. Telegram. Wow, there's an antiquated concept. Send an email. That's right. Sorry. The old school brain is still a little bit in effect here. But if I was on that committee, I'd be considering college jazz bands very seriously, and in particular, the UNTS Lab Band from North Texas.